Since 2004, the founders of Peregrine 1031 Energy Partners have been turning the idea of traditional real estate investment upside down. We think of traditional real estate as a piece of land with one or more buildings, such as an office complex or a shopping center. In traditional real estate investment, your profit depends on steady, high occupancy rates by successful tenants who pay you rent. Over time, properties need renovations and repairs, and tenants can be here today and gone tomorrow. As an investor, you look for smart ways to strengthen your investment portfolio. Diversification, protection from inflation, and a good return are a few important goals. Investment in real estate has always been an excellent choice, but there's much more to real estate than meets the eye. To tap into it, we need to look below the surface and think outside the brick and mortar box. In the U.S., there are two types of land: surface rights, commonly known as real estate, and subsurface rights, commonly known as mineral or royalty rights. At Peregrine, we focus exclusively on these mineral and royalty rights, specifically in areas where underground natural resources, including oil and natural gas, are abundant. Major oil companies like Exxon and Shell, who want to access oil and gas reserves, pay the mineral owner for the right to drill and operate oil wells on his or her property, along with an ongoing percentage of the revenue produced from that land. This revenue is called a royalty. Private royalty ownership has been around for over 150 years, but unless you were born into it, most of us have not had access to the mineral rights these lucky landowners have been passing down for generations. Peregrine gives clients the opportunity to step into the shoes of these landowners. Unlike oil and gas drilling investments, royalty owners do not invest in equipment or field operations. The oil company pays 100% of the drilling costs and assumes all risks and liabilities associated with the ongoing operation, while each month you, as the royalty owner, receive mailbox money, which is your percentage of the revenue generated from each well on your property. As with any traditional real estate property, royalty owners receive a direct deed and title to their asset, recorded and held on a county level. This is one of the many reasons why this asset qualifies for a 1031 exchange out of traditional real estate. For the past 50 years, investors have been able to take advantage of the 1031 tax differential by executing a like-kind exchange from brick-and-mortar real estate into producing royalty interests. Because royalties originate underground and are not tangible like traditional real estate, many investors are unaware that this asset class does meet the like-kind test that all 1031 exchanges must pass. Let's take a closer look at why this is. In 1968, the IRS published a ruling that clarified Section 1031 of a 1954 Act. The ruling stated that real estate ownership interests, whether above or below the ground, meet the definition of like kind for an exchange. Court rulings have since reaffirmed that oil and gas royalty interests qualify as like kind to all other forms of real property. Several revenue and private letter rulings have further established the like-kind nature of royalties when exchanging out of the traditional real estate. Although a new concept to most real estate investors, oil and gas royalties have played a more predominant role in 1031 exchanges during the past 15 to 20 years. Now let's look at some of the main advantages to consider with royalty ownership. We'll begin with the transaction size flexibility. The 1031 exchange alternative allows you to customize your investment level. Whether you need $100,000 or $5 million worth of replacement property, Peregrine will carve out the exact interest that fits your exchange. There is also the potential for superior cash flow that we mentioned earlier. Peregrine typically targets royalty properties that generate annual returns over 2 times what is available in today's comparable real estate market, and there are no capital calls. Investors in oil and gas drilling programs or tenant-in-common real estate offerings bear the risk of future capital calls. Royalty owners do not face this risk, and there is nothing to manage or maintain with mineral properties. There is also investor independence. Owners of undivided interests in royalty properties are not locked into an ownership structure that links them to other investors in the same property. Each owner is free to exercise control over the holding period and exit strategy to suit their individual investment objectives. Next, let's look at the tax savings. 15% of royalty income is shielded from tax, regardless of the carryover basis from the previous property. Finally, There is portfolio diversification. Cash flow from multiple producing wells and undeveloped acreage for potential future production can alleviate the risk of owning a single property or being over-concentrated in traditional real estate. Since 2004, Peregrine's founders have helped source high-grade royalty properties in many states, including Texas, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Colorado, and North Dakota. Peregrine has helped clients from all 50 states exchange over $250 million from real estate into royalties. Peregrine's relationship with mineral rights owners throughout the country provide a consistent pipeline of oil and gas royalties available for acquisition by cash and 1031 investors. We have seen that there is more to real estate than meets the eye, and the view from a different angle looks great. To learn more, contact the professionals at Peregrine 1031 Energy Partners.